Dogs are our best friend, but dog's best friend
is a quesadilla.
is a quesadilla.
With mozzarella sticks in it.
Congratulations, Phoenix. It's a beautiful day to do some hood rat shit. Before I do that, I want to clean the Outback, which some of you who are new to the channel might not know about this car. This is my 05 Outback. It's got the JDM Sports bumper. It had a bunch of stuff done to the engine. Has a built 5 EAT, a lot of suspension work going on. But we pulled the engine out after the last video we made and actually sold it. It was in good working order, so we've got another engine sitting over on that rack there that I gotta send to out front to start doing a big boy build on this thing. But it's been sitting underneath that tree for like 3 months, and it really looks it. I don't think it's gonna do it justice in the camera how bad the car looks right now. But it's got filth and shit all over it. So I'm gonna clean this off, at least spray it off real quick, and then we're gonna get out the exhaust components and start putting those on the little Legacy there. The world's on fire again, so we had a whole bunch of ash and stuff that came down, so I had to detail it real quick. It's a lot better than how it looked sitting underneath the tree. So we're gonna forget about you for a little bit longer. Sorry, buddy. We picked up a couple of weird things for Mittens. I got a remark, however the hell you say that. I got a remark exhaust. I don't know, it's remarkable. I don't know how to say their name, I'm sorry guys. And then Jeff Parent sent over a downpipe we can use for this. So thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that a whole lot because that helps us out a bunch. So let's get this thing on quick jacks and then I'll show you everything we got. You got this part?
So that's a tube. It kind of looks like a bone. And it makes me want to squeak a ball.
Cool. So we got the Remark single exit exhaust. Comes with all the fun hangers and everything. I didn't get the titanium one because I did not see the point, and it was like 250 bucks more. And this thing you can pick up for a steal right now for like 500 bucks with Tanner's Smedia discount code, not to throw out somebody else's stuff. But if you use Smedia on Rally Sport Direct, you can get this bad boy for like $500. And that's pretty damn cheap, so I couldn't argue with that. Now this is the one that's made for a GR. I don't know if I should have got a VA one, but on their website they say that these are interchangeable with the GR and the VA for the single exit. So I'm pretty sure they're basically the same one. A lot of people put VA exhausts on their BPs, so I don't think I'm going to have that big of a problem. The only downside is this is kind of like, I don't want to say fuckboy-esque, but kind of fuckboy-esque, because this is the back pipe and it's going to come out on the passenger side and it angles. So it's gonna have that slant to it, and I think it goes up a little bit according to Rally Sport Directs, which I know they use some hangers and stuff to change that, but I'm hoping ours doesn't angle up too much or else that's gonna be a problem. But yeah, that's what we got. So we're gonna throw this on and try and see just how well it all fits and how much cutting and modifications we're gonna have to do. Aside from that, start putting these things on. I don't know if this downpipe's gonna work. Having to take off the mounting point on the transmission because it's too far forward, which I knew would be a problem, but kind of tried to pretend it wouldn't be. And this comes in way sooner than it probably should because the autos are so much longer and fatter, so I don't know if I'm gonna have a problem with that hitting as well. If this is going well, I can't wait for the catback. even if I take this off, when it tries to go up, it's gonna hit. That's not the flange anymore. I mean, this is the flange, but that's actually the pipes, and it needs to go that way. So that's not gonna happen. Well, fuck. All right, well, I ran into a bit of a fucking problem. I went to put on the parent downpipe, and the parent downpipe does not fit because it's intended for a manual transmission. And I kind of knew that, but I figured that maybe it might work this time, and it totally didn't. So I hopped on Cobb, ordered a Cobb downpipe. That should be here hopefully sooner than later. And I don't know if I'm gonna do anything else as far as trying to fit this exhaust up. I don't think there's really a point without knowing if the downpipe fits or not. So, I got a parent downpipe if anyone wants it. And a bunch of other stuff, except for that AMS manifold. But yeah, if anyone wants any of this stuff, taillights look good. Fuck. Oh, this sucks. For the time being, I was in the middle of doing an AM Yugo gauge install. That's as far as I got. I picked up a little dual gauge from Blockade Head. I don't know when that's going to arrive, probably like 3 or 4 weeks or something. But it goes in this spot and it comes up this way and has 2 gauge pods. So we're going to get a oil pressure gauge as well because it's a smart thing to have. So for the time being, I just have this roughly ran in here and I need to tap these into the signal, positive and ground, from our sensor up in the engine bay. Most people, because you're probably doing this on a manual, you're probably using the grommet over there. I chose to use the one that the clutch pedal would normally go through because it's a lot shorter routing and just easier for where I'm trying to get it. I'm not gonna worry about doing anything inside the car right now. It's just roughly ran. I'm gonna pin out the positive and negative in the engine bay, which I think I have the right wires for if they're the same as a WRX or STI from like 2012. I have that diagram, so let's hope it looks the same. So you can see I've got this all ripped apart again and pulled this guy off, everything. I am shooting for the plug that I'm not going to be able to show you because everything's in the way. I'm shooting for that green connector right there. Specifically this side of the connector running into this. So I'm gonna cut it and tap into the connector side because this side right here that goes up, just right there, on the right side, connects to the ECM. I'm like out of breath for some reason and I haven't even done anything. Maybe I'm dying, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. I had to use those 2 wires, so they're green and brown when they're supposed to be white and brown, I believe. So yeah, whatever. But I gotta make sure the pinout for this is correct. And then I'll go through and actually pin that and hopefully no mistakes. So let me reference my stuff real quick and then I'll be back. So I got both of my wires here. The green one would normally be white, but these are actually for the AEM net. So I moved them over on the pins to where they're 2. Signal positive, which is the green, you probably can't see. And signal negative is the brown, which you can hook up just to a body ground or sensor ground. So off this, which I pulled this connector for the O2 sensor up from over here, off this connector that actually goes to the ECM. So you have from top left, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're tapping into 3 for the signal positive, and you're tapping into 4 for that ground. So green is going to go to the positive, which it'll be reversed on this guy because that's how it plugs in. So green will go to that white, and then brown is going to go to the blue wire. So I'm gonna get that wired up, and then we should be able to find a power source and a ground in the car just to test the gauge before we make everything nice. Yes, come to Papa. Get as much of this wire as I can. Skidoink. Skidooch. Yeah. Yeah. Tanner, what's always in the way?
Air conditioning.
AC!
Probably deleted on everything. Literally always delete AC.
Yes. Sweet. Little tugga-dugga. Solid. Yes, I didn't really make this as a how-to or anything, but make sure you plug it back in if you're installing this gauge. So I get everything buttoned up, get that back in place, get my AOS back in place. And we'll go back inside the car, just wire it up without putting it in place and make sure it works. Check that out. Nothing. So if you guys install AEM air fuel sensor gauge and it just says sense and you know it's plugged in, it's probably the sensor. Cool. So the sensor doesn't read anything, it just says sense on the gauge. But we have our base tune, so what do you guys think? Should we just start this thing open turbo?
Yes.
just start the car open turbo. We don't have a downpipe yet because our downpipe didn't fit. This whole video is going swimmingly. There you go. So Tanner's loading up our base map on this, and we're gonna try and start this thing open turbo.
I am tuner.
Tanner is tuner now.
I'm tuner.
So I'll get back to you guys in a second once we got this thing loaded up. And then we can do some more dumb shit. Start this car with no downpipe on it. Test mode connectors. Okay.
The guy said he was waiting like 10 minutes. So I'm assuming just like...
Turn ignition off. Leave ignition off position. In reinitialization. Disconnect test code. Hello?
It works.
Hey, what's going on?
David, can you hear me?
Kinda, sorta, you kinda cut out there.
Yeah, you're on the hood of my car. You're also gonna be in my video. Alright, so we are good to go.
You look good in there.
Back up
What are
here.
you working on right now?
Well, I mean, it was kind of running for a second.
It ran.
Okay, that last start didn't sound good. So I took a look at things, and with the new harness, I made a boo-boo, and I flipped, and I had white in the back. So I had bank ones, shit swapped. So I got the connectors swapped back around. So let's try and start this one more time, open turbo, and see if she starts up. Which, mind you, another thing that really sucks is the gas that's in this car is like a year and a half old, so we need to get that out of there like stat. But I'm trying to get this car running for you guys right now so we can see a first start of some kind that actually runs. So let's try it out. I'm kind of scared.
Fuck it.
Why am I scared?
What could be worse?
I'm never scared on first starts.
Now you are.
It was nothing.
There you go. There you go.
Dope! I need my downpipe!
You should have bought it sooner.
I bought it literally as soon as I knew I needed it.
You
I
said
need
you
my
already
downpipe,
knew.
and I need my wideband sensor that's not broken. If you're installing an AEM wideband, chances are your sensor is probably bad. It's happened to, what, every single one we've installed. So, now we're playing the waiting game again, and as soon as we get the downpipe, we can hopefully make the exhaust fit, and then we can drive this car. But I gotta get new gas in it too, so yeah. I think I'm happy. This is good. This is a good end to a shitty day. of needing more stuff and having issues with it. Next video, hopefully we'll be able to get everything else on the car, drive it, start doing cooler stuff to it. I've got more like exterior little mods and stuff coming for it. So I am excited on that. Lower it. And we need to lower it. This car looks stock at this point, aside from the taillights and the front mount. With that being said, that's all I've got for you guys in this one. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment so I can reply back to you and say some fun shit. And if you didn't like the video, like I always say, just some dude on the internet. You don't have to like my shit. You probably can only hear Tanner's Evo in the background. So with that, I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Mittens lives. Mittens lives! Woo!